What's up, y'all? It's your boy C coming back at you with another episode of C's Retro Garage, coming to you from the free state of Florida. What do you do when you have a little girl and she wants to be a Ghostbuster for Halloween? I mean, we all know there's no such thing as women Ghostbusters. That much we know. But it's Halloween. Kids like to dress up and all kinds of stuff like that. So, what happens though when that little girl doesn't want to wear the jumpsuit but still wants to be a Ghostbuster? Well, I'm going to show you the cheap way of getting around it. Cheap and good. And this is how it's done. So let's get to work. Alright, so I bet you guys didn't think your boy C had skills with a needle and thread. Well, I do. Grandma's house during summers. But anyway, what we're starting off with is a good old-fashioned Dickies boys long sleeve twill shirt. Smallest size I can actually find was a medium 10 to 12. Now my kid's well over 3 feet tall. For those of you in Europe, she's actually over 1 meter in height. So this 10-12 is actually perfect. Okay, as you can see, I've already taken the liberty to stitch up one of these sleeves. Now there's a couple different ways you can go about this. Always remember that the elbow pad is going to cover this here. So you're never going to see this. Okay? So I always go about 2 inches from the armpit down to the actual arm, which was 11 inches from the armpit to the wrist. 2 inches less on here makes this 9 inches long. Now the way I did this was for future use, which is stitched on the inside as well, as you can see. Now I'll finish this stitch here, so when she pulls out, it doesn't, or pulls arm in, it doesn't take it with her. This is just holding it in place, but this is to be able to use this for future use, to let go of this stitch and actually make these sleeves longer. There's several ways you can do this. You can actually cut the sleeve and Frankenstein it, merge it together, but again it's permanent. You can actually remove the sleeve and cut it that way and make it shorter. Again, that's also permanent. My way is temporary. If you really want to go temporary, you could just safety pin it and then just depend on the elbow pad to completely conceal that stitch. But what I'll do is I'll show you the other side, which I got the pins on. We're going to pin it and then more or less measure it to be about the same as this side. And then go after that, show you the finished product and then move on to the next step. Alright, so again, this is done for just strength, and it's not permanent. That's why it doesn't have to be perfect. Always remember, again, the elbow pad's going to cover. If you were to take the sleeve, for example, let's pull it through. It would look something like this. This stitch on one side, this particular side is going to be covered by the Ghostbuster patch, most of it like this. This is just this, you do not have to do this particular stitch. I did this for the reasons of comfort for my kid. This is the shortened sleeve. Okay, so when it's buttoned up, as you can see, let me kind of pull it in here. As you can see, when it's buttoned up, this is the sleeve here. When you look at the inside of the shirt, as you can see, it looks like a double sleeve, kind of like a double tunnel. This is just so that when she puts her arm through it and pulls it out, it doesn't do like this one is going to do here. This one is also stitched here. Come on, sleeve. Okay. This one, as you can see, both sides. Oops. Sorry. This one has the single stitch, okay? But when you look inside, you see how you have this additional cup here. So if your kid goes like this, for example, pulls it in and then goes to pull everything out, you know, you kind of get this like that, which can be uncomfortable. It can also be a pain in the ass, and it's just basically to preserve the cuff. So this is just the way I proceeded. Again, this is the single. This is the finished product. Is going to have this double stitch here. Now you don't have to do it this way. This is just the way I'm choosing to do it, simply because I don't want to alter the garment. I want to preserve it for future use. Maybe one day we'll use this again. We'll do it in cosplay, and I could let the sleeves out as she grows. Kind of like letting the seams out of a jacket when you gain weight, or putting in seams in a jacket when you lose weight. So the next step would be to finish the other sleeve so that it's similar to this one. Okay, and then again, come back to here, remove the Dickies logo, and this is going to be stitched shut. So it'll have to be just like a dress, because that's the intent, so that she'll have to step into it. Not going to be a button-down shirt, because again, you want it to look like a dress. Most likely, this pocket is going to be eliminated. What I'm debating of is if I'm going to save the top flaps, and this would strictly be for cosmetics, and reattach them farther down sideways, because the zippers in the jumpsuit actually run at an angle versus, you know, they run roughly, I'd say, about 45 degrees versus, you know, just a 90-degree square. Of course, I could just remove the pocket altogether, which I am most likely just going to take this off because the name badge will be ironed on right here. Name badge also gets ironed on as close as possible, not touching, but about this far in. If you ever look at a still shot of the uniforms that the Ghostbusters wear, it's about that much in close so that you could see it, because the thought is with the proton pack on, you should still see the full name with the straps coming across this way. So this pocket will go bye-bye. Again, I'm debating whether I'm going to keep just the top part of the pocket just for aesthetics and stitch it down here just to give it that angled zipper look, pocket look, like the jumpsuit. But I'm going to go ahead and stitch the other sleeve and then go down to the bottom of the dress. Alright, the dress is completed. You can see the double stitch sleeves here. This kind of gives you an idea where the elbow pad is going to go. Both sides, this is complete. You got your bottom stitched here. This is now one solid piece. And this is going to be pretty much an effective dress. So now, time to put on the patches. Alright, so as you can see, I've gone ahead and I removed the top part of the pocket compared to this one. Left the pocket. And I was debating whether I'm going to just remove both pockets and then reintroduce just the top part just for the effect of the slanted pocket. I might keep it functional and actually go ahead and patch, now that I've removed the pocket and the button, go ahead and put iron on directly right on top of the pocket, as you can see. The name badge, keeping the pocket functional with the name tag on. And then, of course, we're going to do the ghost badge over here. And this will eventually, granted, it's not going to be accurate, but then again, this isn't accurate anyway because there's no dresses for Ghostbusters, because, you know, in all reality, there's no such thing as a woman Ghostbuster. But even with that said, though, it is Halloween, it's just a costume, so it should look, you know, as authentic and as sharp as possible. So we're probably just going to keep that pocket, and it's an extra little place to put a little extra candy. Alright, boys and girls, I am at the Home Depot getting the supplies that we need to finish this bad boy. Going to the plumbing section to get the tubing, piping for the catheter hose, and while I'm here as well, I'm going to grab the other parts I need to finish up another little prize piece. Alright, so this is pretty much all you're going to need for the catheter hose for the outfit. Now, some will notice that in Ghostbusters 1, this thing was actually yellow. The only place I found an actual yellow one was off the Ghostbuster fans website, and it's like $20 for this thing. It's a special order, so good luck getting it in time for Halloween. By the time of this recording, we're halfway through October. Best of luck to you. Ghostbusters 2, they use a clear tube. So technically, this is Ghostbusters 2. However, Home Depot does also carry a translucent one, so it's it depends on your personal taste or preference. Translucent one versus the clear one. Translucent one might look a little bit more yellow. I mean, if you probably wet it and leave it out in the sun a couple days, maybe it'll turn yellow. It's possible. But here's the thing. There's two ways to go about this. So I'm giving you a third option. The two ways is, again, Ghostbuster fans website is great. They sell the connector that goes onto your jumpsuit for this reason, for the tube. The connector itself, it doesn't look like it's made out of anything other than maybe rubber, or I don't know what the hell it's made of, but it doesn't look much more different than this little coupler, which is going to be option C, which this is about 32 cents, I believe, versus the $20 to buy it off their website. Now, our boy Snavely there, in his invention, his was awesome, but the problem is inflation and scarcity. What he did was he used a pipe coupler and a nipple. So the pipe coupler, this makes it a temporary solution where the inside part goes inside the pants and then the nipple goes to the inside. So if you could picture like a ring, and here you have nipple screws into this coupler, and then the other coupler's inside your pants, and then it twists on. So you can always unscrew it and take it off and wash. Versus this becomes a more permanent solution. But the problem is, at the time that he created the website, it was only about $5 and change for that whole setup. Now try about $12. Or you can use this little guy. Now this one is more closer to the color. I believe it is like a tannish color, khaki color for Ghostbusters 1. Ghostbuster 2 is going to be a gray color. So again, we're kind of mix and matching movies. We got Ghostbusters 2 colored hose, Ghostbusters 1 colored insert for the hose. Whatever, man. Most people are not going to notice, and even enthusiasts will say you still did a kick-ass job, even though they know it's not totally accurate. So what I got was a 1/2 inch hose. This is 10 feet of hose, 3/8 inner diameter. Car people know this. What does that mean? That means that the inside part of this is actually 3/8. It's the outer part that's a 1/2 inch. These are 1/2 inch. I'll try to get a good shot of it here. Let's see, 1/2 inch. But it doesn't really tell you inner, outer. I can save you the trouble. It's 1/2 inch inner diameter. This is 1/2 inch outer diameter, as it says right there, the OD, outer diameter. So this will slide right on in there. Now, it's going to slide right in. This will be glued on, or stuck on. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our Dremel tool with a very, very, very fine drill bit and drill a few holes around the edges so that we can stitch this on the jumpsuit. Stitch it on both jumpsuits, on the kids and the adults. So again, 32 cents versus the now nearly $17 option, because you got $12 for the coupler, $5 for the nipple, or the $20 option from the Ghostbusters fan site, which good luck getting in time for Halloween. So that is just my choice to use this instead. It's there, it's available, it's quick, and now it's just a matter of getting a Dremel, making the holes. As far as the clear hose, Try it on first, see if you like the look. If you don't like the look, take it back, get the translucent hose. It's about the same price anyway. I don't even remember what they were, $6 or whatever. If it looks good to you, then of course keep it. If you're going for the Ghostbusters 2, which is the gray jumpsuit, then by all means this is the one you purchase. This is it. It's as good as it gets. Alright, and here's the finished product, just to give you an idea if you just want to do a few holes. Okay. Versus if you want to do many holes. Doesn't really matter. Just remember though that you will have to fill each one of these holes if you go this route. I'm using this one for the I'm going to use the one with many holes for my kid. Obviously, kids like to move way too much. This one I can use for mine. You can see, like I said, you get a fine bit on your Dremel. Just drill right through it, very patiently, very kindly and gently. And now you can stitch this right on your jumpsuit and hook in your hose. As far as holding the hose in place, well, there's many different things you can do to hold it in place. If you want, you can drill a hole through it and through your hose while you have it on. Kind of put like a little cotter pin. Maybe a zip tie. Use a clear zip tie. That's one very convenient, easy way to do it. The only thing is you got to cut a zip tie every time you throw the thing in the wash. So of course, how to wash? Well, wash it inside out. So this way you don't have to worry about this getting roasted. Well, I probably wouldn't put mine in the dryer. I'd probably hang dry mine, but to keep this from getting roasted in the dryer. Personally, I wouldn't trust any type of plastic inside a dryer. It does get very hot in there and this could melt on the fire. Just hang dry it, or use this, a few stitches, and just stitch it on every time you're going to use it. I mean, that's it. I mean, that's what else you got. That's why the type of bolt-on solution was better for that reason. You can just take it on, take it off, and you don't have to, worry about it. But again, kind of in a bit of a crunch. What choice we got? Can't get the parts in time. So this is the way we're going. Alright, so what we have is a finished product here in gray, like it is in Ghostbusters 1, to stitch on. As you can see, the hose right here also. I would suggest drilling these holes before you stitch them on. Go ahead and stitch it on with the hose. You see the hose has the matching hole. I'm going to use a clear zip tie to hold this on, but now this stitch is on. This is a finished dress, so at this point, whether you decide to lose the buttons, that's up to you. It all depends on how it looks and what you prefer. But this is ready to stitch on. Alright, one little unique piece of the Ghostbuster outfit is the Gizmo, which everybody's called the Gizmo, because nobody really knows what the heck Gizmo's for. It's just on the left side of the belt there. Looks like it's connected to the proton packs, maybe some kind of meter. This has been the easiest thing that most people have gone to. Starts out as a regular old calculator. That's it. This one just happens to have the chip, so you may even want to decorate this with, something like a Sharpie. Kind of decorate it. Take a look at a picture the best you can of the Gizmo, and with your dog leash over there that you're going to cut up. Of course, we'll paint this black, but just glue, and just your belt goes right through there. And that's it. It's a nice little add-on, little curiosity. Again, you probably use your little Sharpie to decorate in this case, unless you're lucky enough to find one that's already kind of like a silverish color that looks a little bit more of like a Atari 5200 controller versus an actual, board. But I'll, kind of update this one as I get a better shot of what the Gizmo is going to look like. Final product, and go from there. And here's your dog collars, adult, child, and this is the Jason strap for the Ecto Goggles. So again, make your fobs accordingly. Just plain old can of spray paint, paint them, and this of course will be fed through a little slit I'll cut in the Ecto Goggles, glued this way and then glued over the other strap. And these, of course, go right through your belt. That's it as far as those. All right, elbow pads are easy. $6 on Amazon. You get knee pads, you get wrist guards, and you get the elbow pads. These happen to be the knee. They actually fit a little better, look better. You might have to modify the Velcro. Tape up the outside. They're already gray. Paint the plastic part. Good to go. Alright, so this is going to be the Ghostbusters utility belt for your little girl. Works for a little boy as well. Here's the, I know I call it a dog collar on the actual video portion of it, but it's actually a dog leash. So you get these leashes real cheap, $1 at the dollar store. Cut them up. You can use, this is the kid size, and then the bigger one for the adult size. And then you use one part of it for the Jason strap for your Ecto Goggles. This is the Gizmo, how it sits. You can take a silver Sharpie and kind of draw the lines out to look the way you want. And this belt, I actually took this from an old high chair and stitched it, modified it to work as a belt. The zip tie here is just from a test run that I did. It's best wear your kid's costume for the catheter hose. Put a small little hole in the hose and use a zip tie to hold it in place, or else your kid will keep dropping it all night long. So that's as far as the belt goes for your kid. Gray is best. Gray is always the accurate color. And yeah, and then let's get her dressed up. Alright, you want the last touch? Here it is. Get yourself some clear wire lubricant. This is gonna be your slime. This stuff is awesome. Non-toxic, doesn't stink, dries clear, and it lasts for hours and you can layer. As a matter of fact, you see that? That was put on there about, I'd say 4:30 this afternoon. It is currently 11:30 in the evening right now. Just to show you. This is still there. This will dry. You can just wipe this off with a white paper towel and it will not stain, it will not stink, it will dry clear, and that's it, man. And this is your finishing touch, man, and then you got a kick-ass costume. And that is how you make a Ghostbuster girl's dress for Halloween. Not that bad. You just need some basic stitching skills, a little bit of creativity, and you can get your little girl dressed like a Ghostbuster, a lady Ghostbuster, without wearing a jumpsuit. And it's that simple. So go ahead and check out our other video on how to make the Ecto Goggles and how to make an adult Ghostbuster costume. And as always, it's your boy C with C's Retro Garage, reminding you guys to stay safe, be kind one to another, and happy Halloween. Trick or treat.